The SPY did something it hasn't done very much during this entire squeeze, which is get a down day. Pretty fun, right? Now, the thing about this down day is there are some signals that are suggesting that this can be a disruptive moment for the market. It may even lead into some people saying or shouting from the rooftops, stock market crash. But me, myself, I believe this will be some kind of correction if it comes to fruition. And I'm going to show you those signals because as of right now, the SPY is saying, hey, on the 2-hour chart, we can squeeze through. We can squeeze through. Ignore that little signal. We just kind of failed it a little bit. So ignore it. While at the same time, the dollar is doing exactly what we talked about and confirming some huge signals here that do suggest, once these confirm, which it's about to confirm in about 2 hours, that the dollar may be going up, which means people might be going out of stocks and into cash. So why would they go out of stocks and into cash? Maybe because this is some kind of short-term top and we are likely to see some kind of downside. Yes, we are open to a crash, but I'm not talking about a 50% crash. I'm talking about something they tell you is a crash and then you make a higher low because that daily MACD is up there. So we're going to get into those daily expected moves. Patreon members, remember that daily expected moves will be posted to Patreon for all the stocks on the right side of your screen right over here. We will get those out to you in a moment after this video goes live. But for now, I think we need to get into these signals. We definitely need to talk about the dollar. You guys know that I've been saying, hey, I'm going to sit on my hands, right? This was a great trade all the way up to that monthly move. So I've just been sitting, enjoying my time with the kids, helping out and things like that. So it's been a lot of fun. I've had a good time. But we can notice here that I might be getting working again soon on this whole trading business because look at this. We do see that daily MACD is very risen up there. And I believe the next real opportunity is a daily pullback or even some kind of quick daily retracement. I think that would make a lot of sense in these areas. It would be a great breath. And just because I think it makes sense doesn't mean that you should think it makes sense. Instead, I'm going to show you exactly why I'm saying these things. We noticed that the 10-year yield did reverse around. You do get data in the morning. You will get, I believe it's non-farm payrolls. Is it non-farm payrolls and unemployment? I just want to double check for you real quickly. Yep, non-farm payrolls and unemployment, that will most likely affect that 10-year yield. We're still looking for the proper narrative behind this, most likely reacting to oil. Remember, oil is something that can carve out a higher low here and go make a new high, but we did get a weird confirmation from the MACD here, but this can be a higher low ready to go for its next move. So just watch out if you start seeing any kind of news that relates to the price of oil going up. That is something very, very clear. We showed off signals yesterday for volatility, suggesting we could turn around for the VIX 9-day, suggesting we could turn around on the VIX and AKA see some selling in the market. And also with the VIX, we did say that as well. But the big signal here is the dollar. And look at that, it's climbing even as I make this video. We just saw a little bump up there for a moment. So the big deal here is you do have potential daily double bottom divergences here, if you want to call it, some sort of higher low. You kind of took out these levels, but it's mainly with the closures of the bars. I believe you do have a double bottom divergence here. You can see that from your MACD pointing slightly in the upward direction and the RSI pointing slightly in the upward direction. That's a positive divergence. That means that the dollar is going to potentially attempt to go into a positive trend. So what do we do with that? We say, well, how probable are we to curl up this MACD on the daily scale? Well, we'll use the 4-hour chart, and we pointed out to you yesterday that you do have a reversal signal. It's not the strongest one. Okay, this isn't the strongest reversal signal, but the key thing here is you're at this major trend line. You're making potential daily divergences. Any 4-hour divergence you see from the DXY that says, hey, we could go up, meaning people could go in to cash and out of stocks, you probably want to pay attention to that, especially if you are extremely bullish right now. Have that one guy, that 1% little guy in your head saying, hey, what if there's a little trap here? Hey, you're already outside of the weekly expected move. Maybe you should consider your risk. That's what this signal overall is telling you. You have a positive divergence on the 4-hour chart suggesting that the daily can turn to the upside. I want to clarify that that is not on the RSI at the same time. What does that overall mean? I like things to be at the same time. What am I doing as a trader? I'm building up I'm using my analysis to build an argument that I can gain an edge and therefore can make money by trading off of a certain amount of information. That information here that I see for the dollar is I only have a divergence on the MACD. I do not see it on the RSI at the same time. If I can't have those things at the same time, what does that mean for me? If I want to still take this play, that means I will downsize the position. I will make the position smaller because I don't believe I have enough information to suggest risking a bunch of money if I cannot build the argument that I have a bigger edge. I want higher probabilities, then I would like to see this on the RSI at the same time. So if I wanted to take calls on UUP, I would be using a smaller position size because there is not a divergence on the RSI. I wanted to explain that because a lot of people do ask questions like that. And I think that's very good to hear, kind of my mental towards, hey, if I have something and I want to take it and I don't have the most things firing off, I think that's good to hear. We do have confirmation of that in potentially 2 hours. And look at this. If that daily gets going, people can go into cash, out of stocks. So what does that overall tell us? That tells us we need to be paying attention to the SPY because the SPY is saying something different. The SPY is saying, hey, we're going to keep squeezing, which we can see the SPY go up and the dollar go up at the same time. That's more trap behavior. We're just building a bigger trap. But for now, I think that the more likely thing for the market outside of this weekly expected move was to come in. We have come back in. If we get some bad data tomorrow, we start to daily pullback or daily retrace. I am leaning towards the daily retrace at this point. But for now, we do have the market pointing directly to that upward expected move. So let's talk about the 2-hour chart and give you guys some daily expected moves. Remember that on Saturday, if you would like to subscribe, we will be going over the macro charts. If you're still thinking in your head and you're watching a bunch of content that's saying, 60% crash for the SPY, 50%, we're going to go over some of those things on Saturday. I would love for you to join. It may not be the same thing you're watching out there if you're just watching someone shout crash all the time. We're actually going to go through the signals on the macro scale, and we're going to go through them and explain them very honestly. We do see here that the SPY does still have that divergence. That is very, very simple to see. It's very extended across at this point. Why is it extended across? Well, because we violated some points, right? When we confirmed the first one, we violated it. So we always have to be aware if we want to make a little one in the near price action. So that means that squeeze is still potentially on the table. We have a bunch of gaps down here with good buyers. You have to be open to that, but you do have a reversal signal as well. Do you see why I'm very happy to be not playing either way? Because I do have plenty of arguments to say this thing could squeeze higher with a little pullback. And I also have plenty of arguments with the dollar and volatility to suggest that some kind of big drop is coming. So I'm just going to wait and see what happens with the market. I know that seems crazy to people to not trade for like 3 weeks, but I'm like, it's the best thing to do. I was part of the squeeze. It was a great, great moment. So why would I ruin it by trading too quickly when the market becomes more complex? As of right now, to the upside, 737.48. To the downside, 725.68. So if all goes well here, yeah, you just pull back into this gap, you curl up on that 30-minute, and you're good to go, right? This is all that happens here. You have violated or flattened out those divergences. I believe you violated them on the MACD. So the more probable thing here is a little bit of continuation. Even if you want to drop a little bit in the morning, continue to the upside, and then see some kind of divergence, that would give you a hint here. So if the 30 minutes able to curl up into positive territory, boom, to the upside, we go to 737.48, potentially by the end of the day. If we are going to see that 2-hour curl down and confirm some divergences here, maybe see the dollar start to pop off a little more, maybe see volatility start to pop off a little more, well, then what would be a good hint for a lot of momentum starting to the downside? I believe that momentum starting to the downside, yes, you would watch for that divergence to confirm. That can curl down 2-hour charts, but also I think you need to be aware if you start to see lower highs on the 30-minute as well, because that can do the same thing. So a lower high from the 30-minute and a divergence from the 30-minute, exactly what we were talking about yesterday, just updating with the current price action. That still seems like we need to see before we can say, oh, a major stock market crash is coming, even though we notice that half of the signals, being the dollar, are suggesting the retracement is coming. He is in a similar boat, and this would be freaking, it would be insane. Okay, you went all the way up to the monthly expected move in 7 days, I think. I have to like double check these monthly expect. Yeah, you're almost to the monthly expected move 7 days into the month right now. How crazy is that? So all that has to happen here is 30-minute curls up, and you're likely to go up to, well, I would even say not even that 703.26, your daily expected move. I'd say you're probably going to tag that 704.36. Remember, these lines are not things that I make up. These are things that are being calculated using the data within the options market. I'm taking implied volatility, calculating it out, looking at what people are thinking is going to happen, and all that money gives me these numbers. And boom, to the upside, we see 703.26. So if the 30-minute curls up here, yeah, you can make your way up there, and these levels act like magnets. We do see to the downside, if you're going to continue down, the weird thing for the Qs is they can continue all the way down, they can come back in that weekly expected move and then curl up. You're still above the 5-day. It's still a very bullish tilt at this point, but we're open to surprises, right? I think the market's very vulnerable to a bearish surprise, and any piece of a little bit bad news can be treated a little bit more seriously. We do notice here that the Qs are at elevated levels on the MACD still. They do have a form of divergence, right? We see that divergence there. Now let's go over this RSI one more time. Remember that at this point right here, the Qs violated it. So you kind of go, oh, we might have to make one in the near price action. So we could continue to kind of do this little squeeze, kind of slow, grindy squeeze for another week or so. We really could, according to these signals, but you do still want to consider the fact that you have potential divergences right above you on the 2-hour. That is saying that a daily retracement would be good to watch for, or at least a daily pullback. So as of right now, if the 2 hours crossing down, I say there's a little bit of risk, but for in case you are wrong, because it's very easy to be wrong with these type of signals, if this curls up by the center line at any point, right before you see a major drop, like it comes down to these levels, curls up into positive territory, you're probably going to see another high out of this market. Now, make sure to stick around because the dollar's not suggesting that. Volatility itself is not suggesting that as of right now. So we'll go look at that after we get through IWM. IWM here, remember, this is the first point of divergence for IWM. IWM sold off pretty good here, 1.58%, confirming the 2-hour divergence that is there on the MACD. We see it on the RSI at the same time, pretty extended across, pretty good buyers in here. So just be open to a triple divergence or some kind of violation of this trade if you're thinking some kind of crash is coming for IWM. As of right now, 278.37 to the downside and 286.15 to the upside. If this is just a 2-hour pullback, we could probably finish this tomorrow and then just curl up into positive territory. And if you really look at it, this is what's kind of crazy about IWM. IWM right now is about to go tag, and I know this is actually insane. We'll probably talk about this on in Saturday's update. But if you really look at this, you're going, okay, what's going on here? Because IWM is already almost to its annual expected move, the yearly expected move. The last time you went to the yearly expected move was this moment right here. You can see I still have it kind of marked off, that 175.09. You went down to that yearly expected move, you ripped off of it, and then you went all the way up to, I think it was right in here. Yeah, it's right in here. Right in here was the upward expected move. So you have to really consider what's going on if IWM gets there. I just want to point that out. We'll probably talk about it more on Saturday. But we do notice here that if the daily would pull back, or potentially you would see like something like this, right? We curl to the upside, we come back down, and then we figure it out, we turn to the upside. The MACD is so positive here that continuation would be the most probable thing. As of right now, you would still look at the 30-minute. We notice that the 30-minute for IWM is a little different on the RSI. You actually have divergences intact, but they're not on the MACD at the same time. So that tells me I still need to be aware of, I'm still probably looking for a 30-minute lower high or a 30-minute divergence of some sort. So I just wanted to point that out for IWM. But I think the next chart on being volatility will be a lot more helpful as far as risk goes. Key thing here for volatility is the 2-hour divergence. The 2-hour divergence is a massive thing. It's a great hint. You always got to turn around and say, thank you, God, for showing me these charts, because this might keep me away from some risk. You do have a pretty good sizable divergence there that is confirmed, trying to roll as of right now. We'll see. We do see that divergence pop up right here on the RSI at the same time. This just tells you, hey, the market's at a point here where if it gets some bad news, this squeeze could be done. Maybe they're running out of liquidity. This could be a moment where we actually see a daily upside move for volatility, aka get a pullback in the market. Something clear here is if the 2-hour crosses down, this would be off for a moment. If the 2-hour crosses down here, you never know if that's just going to be like completely get crushed on a Friday. And see if this squeeze can actually continue. So if the 2-hour turns down here, I want to be cautious, but if it can make that higher low or make some kind of divergence, I would potentially be looking at this again as a risk factor. Now, what's it doing for this moment? For this moment, it could be like right by that center line for both. So you have a 2 hour that's about to potentially cross down. You have a 30-minute that just got a reaction directly, well, almost directly off of my 1683, and the 30 minutes really close to the center line. So if you're going to see more selling before the market opens, then this 30-minute would curl to the upside, and I'd really keep my eye on that data coming out an hour before the open. But volatility, you have to consider the fact that you have these 2 hour divergences. And the thing about these 2 hour divergences is if you really, really look back, all these rising levels is a concern over here. So why wouldn't this rising level right here be a concern that we're going to see some kind of daily move to the upside? Now, in the previous video, we showed you this on VIX futures, VIX 9-day, every single one, even the VVIX. All of these are saying a very, very similar thing right now. And that similar thing is, hey, watch out, I'm still holding divergence. Look at this. If volatility of volatility confirms this tomorrow, look at these divergences. Low, low, kind of an even low here. Yeah, we'll say even low here. We can call that higher low at this point, but look at this. Close, not far away from the center line, makes a divergence point, really close to the center line. If that curls up, the volatility of volatility will be scaling up dramatically. We'll see if that's up, we'll see if that's down. But currently, a lot of the signals that aren't the indices are suggesting that we can see some major volatility come in right now. So I wanted to point that out. But for now, you would say, hey, a 30-minute move to the upside makes sense. The squeeze can continue. I just wanted to display this information to hopefully help you out in how to look at markets, analyze these markets so that maybe you can utilize these things that I talk about for your strategy. Thank you guys so much for watching today. Consider subscribing if you're watching this long because you are dedicated to learning, and that's exactly what this channel is for. Thank you and have a fantastic rest of your night. Peace out.